Yo, and what is going on YouTube, and welcome back for another episode of Budget Breakers, where we build fun and competitive Oathbreaker decks for under $50. Now, if you guys are interested in the Oathbreaker format, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you guys are interested in MagiKids, the official charity of the Oathbreaker team, make sure to check out those links in the description down below. But guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right on into this video. Now, our Oathbreaker of choice for this Budget Breaker deck is going to be Nahiri, Storm of Sorn. Now, I do have the Japanese alternate art just to reference because I think it's absolutely gorgeous, but we'll just leave it right over there for the time being. But now, Nahiri, Storm of Stone, 2 hybrid red white. As long as it's your turn, creatures you control have first strike, and equip abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate. Now, her minus X ability is she deals X damage to target tapped creature. She comes in with 6 loyalty, so that is pretty good. We're not playing any, proliferate effects, so what we have is what we have with Nahiri. We'll probably have to cast her at least 2 or 3 times to really get a lot of activations out of her. But her signature spell is going to be Open the Armory. 1 and a white, a sorcery. Search your library for an aura or equipment card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. This is very similar to Steel Shaper's Gift, just the budget-friendly version. Now, let's jump right on into the rest of the deck. Now, since we're running kind of an equipment-style deck, we're going to have a lot of creatures that kind of rely on a lot of artifacts or equipment in the battlefield to make them absolutely huge. Now, our 1-drops, Core Duelist. As long as the Duelist is equipped, it has double strike. Now, it has double strike and first strike if we have Nahiri. Now, Ardent Recruit, Metalcraft. Ardent Recruit gets +2/+2 for as long as we control 3 or more artifacts, and we're likely going to have that. So 1 mana for a 3/3 seems very good. The Kite Sail Apprentice, as long as she's equipped, she gets flying and +1/+1 plus whatever ability she gets from the equipment. Also very good. The Goblin Gavlier. Now, 1 mana for a 1/1 Trampler. Now, he gets +2/+0 for each equipment attached to him, plus all of the equipment abilities. He is very, very good. He comes with Trample, so, we can't let our opponents get away with just chump blocks. Now, SRAM, Senior Artificer. Now, this is just a very good card. He would be in a non-budget version. He doesn't cost very much. 1 and a white. Whenever we cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle, we get to draw a card. Now, this is really important because we want to keep drawing cards, casting equipment, casting creatures, drawing cards. Let's really get our Voltron built up. Now, the next creature in this deck is going to be the Swiftblade Vindicator. Boros creature, double strike, vigilance, trample, and also likely first strike with Nahiri, 1/1. Does it matter? No, because we're going to equip a ton of stuff to her and just get in for a ton of damage. Now, Relic Seeker, she is basically he is basically a he's a budget Stoneforge Mystic. Once he becomes renowned, we get to search up our library for equipment, put it into our hand, then shuffle it up. 2/2 for 2, very good creature. He just comes in and makes everything a little bit slower. Champion of the Flame. Now, this is a card, whenever you cast it, your opponents are going to be concerned. Now, it's a 1/1 for 2. But he gets +2/+2 for each equipment that's attached to him. So he can get out of control really, really quickly. The Stonehaven Outfitter, equipped creatures you control get +1/+1, and that's just a global effect. So we're going to kind of boost up all of our team here. And whenever an equipped creature we control dies, we get to draw a card. Again, we want to draw as many cards as possible. The Auriac Steel Shaper, equip cost you pay costs 1 less. This kind of is the same as Nahiri. But let's get those as cheap as possible. And whenever he's equipped, soldiers and knights we control get +1/+1. There are a few soldiers and knights in this deck, so that's kind of another thing that you just need to make sure that you are keeping track of. The Weapons Trainer. Other creatures we control, get +1/+0 as long as you control an equipment, and you better believe we are going to control a ton of them. Now, the Akiri Line Slinger. Now, I believe this was a commander back from the partner commander sets. He gets +1/+0 for each artifact we control. So if we have 6 or 7 artifacts down, you know, a 7/3 for 2, first strike vigilance, very good creature. The Restoration Specialist, you know, we just sack him to return an artifact from our graveyard to our hand. The Brass Squire. Now, this is a very good creature. I wish he had haste, just because we can attach target equipment we control to target creature that we control, just without paying any of the costs. Danitha, again, the spells we cast for equipment cost 1 less to cast. She has first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Lifelink is very important as well, because as soon as we get some of these really big creatures, our opponents are going to be coming after us. Now, Tajik, Legion's End. This is a relatively new card. 3 mana for a 3/2 with haste and mentor. We get to prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures we control. He's very good at kind of protecting us from, you know, like Anger of the Gods. Valda, Keeper of the Flame. At the beginning of combat on our turn, for each equipment attached to him, we get a 3/1 red elemental creature token with haste and trample. Again, very, very good. Let's just crash in for damage. Kembaka Regent, she is going to give us white cat creature tokens, 2/2 for each equipment attached to her on our upkeep. Now let's jump right on into our equipment. Now the Bonesaw is kind of the first one. A 0 mana equipment that gives our creatures +1/+0. Oh, Naginata, 1 mana to equip. We can attach it only to a creature with power 3 or more, but at this point, you know, we're going to have so many creatures that have, you know, either equipment on them, so their power will be really high, and we're just going to give them +3/+0 and trample. The Golem Skin Gauntlets. Now, this gives our creatures +1/+0 for each equipment that's attached to it. So you get this on there, and then you attach a couple others, and these can get really big really, really quickly. Now, the Bone Splitter. 1 mana, 1 equip. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Mask of Memory. This is kind of a card draw equipment. Whenever it deals damage to a player, you get to draw 2 cards. If you do, discard 1 card. The Imperial Plate. We get +1/+1 for each card in our hand. Again, since we're going to be drawing cards, this is relevant. Marauder's Axe, we can give it +2/+0. The Captain's Claws. 2 mana, 1 equip. Whenever we attack, we get a 1/1 white core ally creature token onto the battlefield that's tapped and attacking. You know, this gives us kind of a go wide strategy as well. Strata Scythe, we get to imprint a land that we control. More often than not, from what I've seen, this tends to be plains for me, but it gives the creature +1/+1 for each land on the battlefield with the same name as the exiled card. Grafted Wargear, +3/+2. Whenever the Grafted Wargear becomes unattached from a creature, that creature gets sacrificed. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, this is my favorite card in this Oathbreaker deck, and it's actually Oathkeeper, Takeno's Daisho. Now, the equipped creature gets +3/+1. Whenever the equipped creature is put into a graveyard, return that card to play under the control if it's a samurai. Now, that's never going to happen since we don't have any samurais, but when this card is put into the graveyard, we get to remove the equipped creature from the game. Now, this is really just for flavor. Oathkeeper, Oathbreaker, you get it. Loxodon Warhammer, 3 mana, 3 equip. Gives our creatures +3/+0 and trample and pretty much lifelink. Death Render is the last equipment in this deck. Gives our creature +2/+2. Whenever a equipped creature is put into a graveyard from play, you put a creature from your hand into play and attach Death Render onto it. Now, we do have a number of other cards in the deck. Wear Tear is one that I just feel is an absolute auto-include for Boros. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Pretty cheap casting costs here. We just need to get rid of the problem cards on the field. Justice Strike, yeah, so you're not going to get your World Spine Worm. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Deafening Clarion, I like this because If we don't get creatures out early enough, we can just do a mini board wipe with the Clarion, 3 damage to each creature. If we do have creatures, I guess first we give them lifelink. I'm not sure if this really matters. I really like it for the board wipe though. Sigarda's Aid is the last card in the deck, and I really want to be able to cast our equipment as though they had flash. And when they do enter the battlefield, we can equip them to creatures without paying the cost. But guys, that's going to be it for this video of Budget Breaker. Now, if you have any ideas you'd like to see for the Budget Breaker series, make sure to leave a comment down below, and I will try to make my way through them. As always, guys, you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button, because what else you gonna do? I'll check you guys later.